Have you ever wondered what it feels like taking your first breath underwater? Scuba diving is an adventure like no other. And in this episode, we'll take you through exactly what scuba diving is, how it works, and why it is an experience that you and your family and friends do not want to miss. So, what is scuba diving? Scuba diving, the word itself means self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. All that means is it is a system that allows you to breathe underwater. The difference between that and snorkeling is scuba actually allows you to stay underwater without having to go up to the surface for air. That opens a world beneath ours that actually covers 71% of the planet's surface and that only 1% of the entire population ever gets to experience. Now let's talk about the equipment that you need. Very much like snorkeling and freediving, you will need a mask, a snorkel, and your fins. The fins in this particular activity is very important because you'll have a bit more equipment underwater. You'll have a bit more drag, which means that the fins will just help you move through the water more effectively. Then you need a wetsuit. A wetsuit is there to prolong your time underwater by keeping you nice and warm. Then you need some weights. So believe it or not, you actually need some weights because of the wetsuit that you put on, it makes you float. And the weights help you get down underwater. Then another equipment that we need is a BCD. It stands for a buoyancy control device. All that means it's basically a backpack that you put on your back that acts as a flotation device when you are on the surface. But it's also this really cool device that helps you add air into the backpack that allows you to get off the bottom of the ocean floor, which essentially allows you to motionless float in the water. So have you ever been in a bathtub where if you're lying flat in the bathtub or in the swimming pool and you take a breath in, you actually go up, and when you breathe out, you actually sink back down? That is exactly what happens underwater. When you are swimming over a beautiful coral reef and you take a breath in, it actually allows you to go up, and when you breathe out, it actually allows you to go down. So that jetpack or that backpack that you're putting on your back just helps you a little more staying above the ocean floor. The next thing that you need is a scuba cylinder. It either comes in a steel or aluminium tank that allows you to strap it on your back and take your air supply with you underwater. That gets connected to what we call a regulator, which is the breathing apparatus. So that actually gets connected to the scuba cylinder, allowing you to continuously breathe air from your air supply. So now that you have a basic overview of the equipment that is required to take your first breath underwater, don't worry, scuba diving equipment, especially the modern equipment, is very easy to use and is now very accessible and can get it at any dive center in the world. Why do I love scuba diving? As somebody that grew up in a landlocked area in southern Africa, I remember seeing all these beautiful imagery of the coral gardens with the beautiful orange and purple and blue fish with the dive in the background and thinking to myself, wow, I would love to do that one day. And I'm so grateful that I've had the opportunity to sign up for my PADI open water course, taking that first step into making this a reality. And I just remember sitting in the bottom of the pool with my instructor, taking my first breath, looking up at the top of the pool and thinking to myself that this is the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. And as you then start going through the course, your instructor then teaches you how to use your breathing, literally just your breathing, to take all that weight that you have with you. And by simply using your breath, you can take yourself up a meter or two, floating completely weightless in the water. And then just by breathing out, you can come back down again. And just that feeling, that feeling of weightlessness, almost like I'm in outer space, is what just absolutely set the tone and hooked me. And then from there, it just snowballed, swimming for the first time with a pod of dolphins and, being in school with a fever of 20 to 30 manta rays in Indonesia and going to Mexico and exploring the beautiful cenotes underground. It just opened up this world that once I saw on a TV and on photos, and now I'm firsthand living it. And now I have the privilege to share those experiences and teaching people to get them out of their comfort zones, showing them that once seeing scuba diving as this complicated and intimidating thing, where they conquer those fears and taking their leap and first step into the underwater world, and how that transformed them in their personal growth journey. And seeing all of those things, experiencing everything that I've experienced, is just one of the many reasons why I love scuba diving. Now that you know what is scuba diving, why I love it so much, and have a basic overview of the equipment that you'll be needing, I have to give you one warning. Diving is very easy to start, but it is also very difficult to stop. That being said, scuba diving is extremely safe, but there are some risks involved, and therefore practicing with an instructor is extremely important. Only once you've gained your certification card, then you are free to go explore anywhere in the world with your buddy. If you are ready to take your first breath, then check out the next video where I'll be going into detail on how to get started with diving. See you in the next one. And don't forget, start exploring today.